Hey guys, so with the Ignite server transfer date being pushed out an extra week, a lot of people are coming into my stream asking, hey, what can I do right now while I wait for my character to be transferred? I'm already 1620, so there's not really much I can do in terms of pushing it. What else can I do to progress my character or just have a little more fun? So I want to make a short video today talking about that. Now, this is a list of things that you can do to, in the meantime, to level up your character and push your character, right? But unfortunately, this is mostly going to be for folks who are newer at the game, so people who are going to be doing roster transfer, not character transfer, because most of these things don't really transfer over to your other roster if you're just doing the character transfer. The only things that will transfer over are these two, Elixirs and Transcendence, but I will go and talk about that a little bit more later. To start at the top, the first thing you should be doing is going to be the Arcadia Tour. If you haven't done so already, the Arcadia Tour is something that gives you a lot of progression. And it gives you a lot of skill points, a lot of runes, a lot of collectibles, just like a lot of horizontal content that is really annoying to do, but is giving you a lot of strength for your character. So if you haven't done the Arcadia Tour already and you're planning to do a roster transfer, 100% do this. It only takes about 2 hours or so, and it gives you so many rewards. Now, kind of on the same topic of that is skill points. So the Arcadia Tour does give you quite a few skill points, but unfortunately, it doesn't give you all of them. What you need to do is you need to click this button right here, Codex, and then type in skill point potion here and search it up. Then it'll pull up a list of skill point potions that you have either collected or not collected. Basically, every single skill point potion in the game. And as you can see for me, I have quite a few that are not collected. These check marks mean I have it. The no check marks mean I don't have it. The reason why I have so many that are missing is because I didn't do the Arcadia Tour yet. But if you did, then the majority of these should be checked off already. And it isn't until like the second and third page where you will be missing some skill points. For example, this one right here, Shade Spire, you probably won't have. This one right here from the Fortune Spire, you probably won't have either. And this one as well. These are things that you need to be doing from a thing called Tower over here. So go ahead and do this Tower, do Shade Spire, do Fortune Spire, and then you'll be able to get these skill points to make your character a lot stronger. If your character doesn't have max skill points, it is missing quite a bit of power. So this is something you can be doing in the meantime to make sure you are getting a strong character if you are doing the roster transfer. Now, next is going to be the second Epic Wealth Rune. Now, this isn't something that is required for all classes. Most classes don't use this, but a number of, and probably the majority of spec classes use the second Epic Wealth Rune. For example, if you're playing Brawl King Breaker, you're gonna have to get the second Epic Wealth Rune. So how you get that is going to be through collectibles. Unfortunately, Arcadia Tour does not give you the second one. It gives you the first one, but not the second one. And then you're gonna go here to Sea Bounties. Now, the Arcadia Tour does give you a lot of these sea bounties. It'll give you, I think, up to 22, I believe. So you have an extra 12 that you need to get to this second Epic Wealth Rune. Now, you might not be able to do everything in the next week to get that Wealth Rune, but that's fine. If you're doing roster transfer, everything should be, moving over to your main roster. All this collectible process should be moving over to your main roster. So do as much as you can to get that 34 sea bounties to get that Wealth Rune. If you need a guide on what to do and what the easiest things are to do to get those sea bounties, I'm going to leave a link in the description below with my guide to getting your Epic Wealth Rune quickly. And then the fourth thing that you can do, and this is something that both people who are doing character transfer and roster transfer can do, are your elixirs and your transcendence. So for us, we get a lot of free elixirs, right? We get, first of all, our free 40 set luck set. And then what you can do is you can use these elixir supply chests to get some free elixirs and use this to cut your elixirs for your character. Now, in addition to this, you also get elixirs from clearing Ivory Tower. Here's the thing that I'm going to mention, right? So the ones from Ivory Tower cost gold to cut, and the ones that you get from this elixir supply chest cost silver. For the most part, gold is a much more valuable resource for your characters. It's a much more valuable, much more hard to get resource for your character. So if I were you guys, I would try to cut elixirs and try to get the 40 set that is for my character. Like I said, luck set is not the right one. You're going to need to look up what your elixir is going to be on Lost Ark Nexus for your character. Find it. If it's DPS, it's either crit or master. For support, it's luminary. Use these elixirs that you get from clearing Ivory Tower and cut some elixirs first, because the gold that we have on this server is not going to be transferred. So you're going to try to want to use up as much of it as possible. And one of those gold things is going to be cutting these elixirs. The regular ones that you get from Ivory Tower and not the ones from the elixir supply chest. If you're going to cut these, you want to cut these after you cut your gold cost ones so that it doesn't, you can use up as much gold as possible before you move on to these ones, which are silver costs, because these ones will be usable on the main servers when you transfer over, and they will cost silver, which again, as I mentioned, is a lot less valuable resource. So cut these these regular elixirs first that you get from Ivory Tower. Then once you run out of those, you can cut these silver ones from Legendary Elixir Supply Chest. So your elixirs should be something you want to be working on. Again, if you don't know the elixir set that you need, check Lost Ark Nexus to do that. And if you don't know how to cut elixirs, I'm going to leave a link in the description below with information about that. Now, the other thing that you can do, as I mentioned, is Transcendence. While you can cut Transcendence in the Ignite servers, which again is good because you want to use up as much of your gold as possible before going to the regular servers, you're going to be getting free level 3 Transcendence across all your gears when you're done with Thaymine Gate 1. So there's nothing really left to cut at that point if you don't clear Thaymine Gate 3. So if you haven't cleared Thaymine Gate 3 yet, of course, one of the things you can do is try to clear it. And then after you do end up clearing it, what you're going to want to do is go and cut your Transcendence for your equipment. For DPS, ideally, you're going to want to try to get your chest to level 7 first, then your pants. Then for support, you're going to want to do your pants level 7 first, and then your shoulders level 7 first. So that is kind of what you want to be doing as a Ignite character. Try to clear your Thaymine Gate 3, then afterwards cut as much Transcendence as you can, because again, gold is not transferring, so you want to use as much gold as possible before bringing your characters to the main servers. And Transcendence is something that people are going to want when you get to the main servers for your raids. So, you should try to do that before leaving the servers if you can. Next is going to be your accessories. This is something that every character is going to be able to do, whether you're doing roster transfer or character transfer. So your accessories are something that you should do. Now, you don't have to worry about the engravings on your accessory, because I would recommend everybody just use the engraving support when they're in tier 3 and haven't transitioned to Arc passive yet. But you do want to look at the qualities, because the accessories that you get from the kind of the style selection, this free accessories, they don't give you the best stats. For example, even though this is 100 quality, it only has 188 spec. If you look at the rings that I have, for example, this is only 90 quality and it gives you 196 spec. So you're going to want to try to find accessories that are as high quality as possible to put on your character with the right stats. You get these accessories, of course, through your daily Chaos Dungeons, through your daily Guardian raids. You're also going to get them through your raids. So as you're doing those raids, doing your dailies, try to look for accessories that are better than the ones that you have equipped. That way, when you bring it over to the main servers, you don't have to look for them anymore. This is another thing that you can do while you're sitting here waiting in the Ignite servers. And then along with that, you can also try to get a better bracelet, though this bracelet that they gave you is pretty dang good, so I wouldn't be surprised if you don't end up getting a better one. And then the next thing you can do is your South Curzan story. Now, there is one big caveat to this. So, the South Curzan story, while it is good to get done and get out of the way, because you will need to do North Curzan when you finish the Ignite servers and want to get to tier 4, the one caveat is that story and stories in general in the game do give you honing materials. And in the Ignite server, unfortunately, none of the honing materials you get will actually be transferred over to the main servers. While it isn't a ton of honing materials, it is a number of honing materials. So if you do this in the story right now, so for your character right now in the Ignite server, this material that you're getting, these honing materials, will not transfer with you. It's not a ton, so it's not the worst thing in the world to do it, but it's just something to keep in mind. Now, the reason why I mentioned that you should do South Kurzan is, again, because you will need to do that to access North Kurzan. And North Kurzan is what you need to do before you get into Tier 4. So if you want to get into Tier 4 as quickly as possible, you're going to want to do the storyline. But again, it's up to you whether or not you want to do this right now. How you start this is you just need to open up your quest menu. You're going to have this quest right here, the Lost Key. You're going to do that, and then also do the Red Mist After Dusk. And then that should lead you over to South Kurzan for you to go and do and start the storyline. Now, after that, what I'll recommend is your collectibles. Again, this is for roster transfer only. These are not going to be transferring over if you're doing character transfer. So doing your collectibles is another thing you could do. So for example, your adventure tome. This is something that you're going to want to do. Some of the stuff in here in the adventure tome is going to have skill point potions that you're going to want to do. So adventure tome is something. And then if you really wanted to do it, you can also do the other collectibles like, Island Souls, Giant's Hearts, Masterpieces, Cocoa Seeds. These are things, Ignia Tokens, these are all things that you can be doing to progress your character horizontally. Not all of them will give you vertical progression. Some of them will. For example, Giant's Hearts will, Ignia Tokens will, but you're going to want to do this at some point anyway, so might as well get started, right? And then also, if you just want to have fun exploring the world of Arcadia, you can also do some Island Souls, some Masterpieces, and these things will give you a ton of exploration opportunities to see the rest of Arcadia, as well as get some fun little rewards as well. Now, the last thing I'm going to mention is to level up your alts. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're like, I already have a 1620 character. I know what I'm playing. Why would I level up an alt? Well, alts, for one, will give you more roster EXP. Roster EXP is very, very important because a lot of people will be looking at this when they're trying to choose who they want to accept into their parties. So somebody with a higher roster level is going to have a higher chance of getting into a party compared to somebody with a lower roster level. So making alts will help you out with this little piece of your character, little piece of your report card per se. But the other thing is, while you may have decided that you want to play this character, right? This Jumpstart, this Ignite server, is an excellent opportunity for you to try out classes and figure out what classes you like and what classes you don't. That way, the next time we have a power pass, you can know, okay, I played these characters last time and I liked these characters and didn't like these ones. So it's going to be a lot easier for you to figure out what character you want to make for your next power pass, because they are going to be continuing to give out free power passes. And Ignite servers, we don't know if it's ever going to come back again. I'm sure it's going to come back at some point, but I doubt it'll be coming back every single time they have an opportunity for you to get a power pass. So I would recommend just making alts to try out different classes, but also try to get this roster level up. So that is about it. These are the things that I would recommend you guys do if you are 1620 already and you're trying to look for something to do in the Ignite servers. Of course, if you're doing character transfer and you already have a setup roster, you don't have to do any of these, right? But for anybody who is doing a roster transfer, these are all things that you can be doing to progress your characters. So hopefully this video was helpful and informative. If you liked it, as always, please, if you can, hit that sub button. It's definitely a wonderful way to support the channel and the best, easiest, and freest way for you to support it. And then also another way to support me is come hang out with me on my Twitch. I stream every single night at 10 p.m. PST at twitch.tv/MisoElixir. So come on, say hi, and hopefully I see you there. But if not, hopefully I'll see y'all on the next video. All right, guys, peace out.